She told Job, you ought to go on and curse God and die.
So solution number 2. So you go now.
Yeah.
So Apostle just gave us a solution for number 2. Avoid foul talk.
Yes, sir.
Avoid foolish conversations.
Yes, sir.
Avoid foolish people in church.
Yes,
Go
sir.
ahead.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
And what ended up happening is because, again, they want an audience. It's a mere fact of recognizing what's going on right now in every church. It's just like on Mount Carmel when Elijah went up and the priests, they was giving bulls and they were supposed to sacrifice their bulls and they were supposed to go up to the altar. And the whole the competition, if I can say that word, the miraculous supposed to have been that fire came down from heaven. But for fire to come down to heaven, it had to consume that was on the altar. Now here's Elijah, because Elijah was not the average kind of prophet. Okay. Elijah did the same thing they did. Now he gonna dump water on it.
See,
he gonna dump water on to prove it. Like, look at him. Now you may think you know God,
right?
And you may know a God, but let me show you the God I know. He went on and poured water on top of.
That's right.
That when the fire came down, what does fire do when water's involved?
Okay,
you know, shut it down.
Shut it down. Goes out.
So in that same sense, what is happening? Audience.
How much time we got?
You gentlemen have about 8 minutes.
That audience that the devil wants us to turn to is still right there amongst us.
Okay. So solution number 3, as I'm listening to that, stay focused.
Yes. Stay focused. Concentrate.
That's good.
Because again, what it amount to is if our mind, I'm not too mystical and Egyptian, and I know some of us born and raised, and we know of African history, and when you get into mystic and Egyptian and Masonry, Masonic, they believe in the third eye.
That's right, they do.
And the third eye is supposedly the focus, not your 2 eyes on your head, but your brain in the center of your forehead.
Right.
Considered the third eye.
That's right.
And that's where they always do things, putting their forehead on stuff.
Okay. Okay.
That's rituals. That's practices. And again, what we must understand is that the devil would want us to get out of the order that God has and get into the world order. Because that's considered world order. We're talking about Masonic, their building, the architecture and all of that, and Egypt. So again, what we got is now, the reason why 2 Corinthians 10:5 is important is cast down imagination and everything that highly exalts itself against the knowledge of God. That mystic and that Masonic is an image that's built to be greater than God.
Okay, now that's the 4th solution that Apostle just gave us. Avoid. Okay, that's what he's saying now. Avoid anything that's outside of that policy in which has been taught to you. Avoid it at all costs. Now that's the 4th thing that he just brought out and what he was describing to us, because all that mythology, all the ideas, like you coming from another job, all those rules and policies don't work on this job.
Yes, sir.
And that's when I remember working for Pepsi before I became disabled.
Yes, sir.
The first thing they told me, the reason why they hired me was because I had some experience in what they are doing, but not their policies.
Yes, sir.
Try to be absent from Pepsi and see what happened. They have the little point system thing, you know. But even on my last job, even though I could be out taking a couple 6 days, they don't mess with me. But on working for Pepsi was different.
Yes, sir.
So we have to avoid the ideals of what others and there's a commandment before all the commandments was consolidated. There was a commandment that said not to follow popular opinion.
Okay.
And I wish I could recall exactly where it was, but it is in the book of Leviticus, because I did this was years ago. I did this, and we're not supposed to follow what everybody else is doing. Just follow the mandate in which God has ordered for you. That's the 4th solution that Apostle gave us today. Give us one more, Apostle.
Proverbs 3:5-6. Trust in the Lord and lean not on thy own understanding.
Okay.
Acknowledge him in all your ways, and he shall direct your path.
See there. Now that's his 5th solution that he gave us today in regards to your going to church.
Yes, sir.
Because as we come into our close, I want to focus on the idea that church is an important part of your walk with God.
Yes, sir.
And we do understand that everybody goes to the church is not there for the same reasons.
Amen.
Some come with because that's their own social life, the only social life that they have. Some go for dating. Some is to see, who's the finest chick in the church. They're going to see what the church is doing, or what they're not doing. There's always a plethora of reasons why people don't go to church. But we want to encourage you, from Apostle and myself, on behalf of the body of Christ. Don't let nothing stop you from going to church. I mean, the foolish stuff that you experienced in the church hurt. Remember, you kept your job. You stayed married.
Yes, sir.
Right?
Yes, sir.
You kept doing the thing when people hurt you before.
Yes, sir.
You even fought back and you still stayed. Right?
Yes, sir.
Somebody told you off, you told them off, and you kept what you were doing. So let us not, forsake the assembly of ourselves together just because of something.
Yes, sir.
Let us stay passionately in love with the church and stay focused. And one of the reasons why it bothered you so much, because you got involved. Don't get involved with foolish talk with people that's sitting in the church, want to have a clique, trying to get you to think like they're thinking. Avoid, like you were saying, that was number 4. Avoid all that foolish talk. Don't be a busybody in the church. Don't be the Bible used the word cumbersome. Don't be busy with stuff that don't matter to the reason why we go to church. We go to the church first and foremost is to worship the Lord, to sing songs, to exalt one another in the praises and the place. The church is a wonderful place. It's where we should go. I'm strengthened, but even today, talking with you on the day on the radio, I'm strengthened. My faith is building. I could deal with some stuff now,
Yes, sir.
I could fight harder because I went to the house of the Lord. The church is supposed to be a safe place.
Amen.
It's not supposed to be a place where you go to church and you still aggravated.
Right.
Find your place in your church and let your gift make room for you.
Amen.
If you want to be part of a team, let it work out on itself. Don't force yourself in.
Amen.
Those things keep you aggravated and frustrated. Before you know it, you just left the church.
Yes, sir.
Don't be concerned about what the pastor doing with the money. If he's she messing up, those their sins.
Yes.
God is not gonna. God's blessing you based on how you gave with your heart.
Yes.
And if that person and if the leadership is messing up your tithing, that's on them. God will punish them, not you.
Yes.
Don't be overly concerned about matters that don't matter.
Yes.
Your closing remarks?
I would say on that, make sure that in your prayers of leaving, it's important while release, even on a job situation, if you leave that job right, if you got authorization, whether you went and got another job, got a promotion, and leadership and reference. If not, you go to try to file for unemployment, and you left that job wrong, and